is Drink Talk, where we try to solve the world's problems one drink at a time. Each week in this podcast, the topics of today and tomorrow are discussed while we sample some of the finest libations known to man. Join us. We are your hosts, Brian and Britt.
Check us out.
All right, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We're
Thanks.
joined today by
David Veneer.
and his brother.
Kyle Veneer.
Good to see you guys. David, what do you do?
Well, a couple things I think you could say.
Let's go down the list.
Owner and operator of the Casual Pint, which is over here on 87th and Pacific in Countryside Village. Great little craft beer bar. 30 beers on tap.
One of my favorites.
I've seen you in there before.
Yeah, maybe.
Once or twice.
Tons of cold singles in the cooler that you can drink there or take home. And we always keep it rotating. You know, that's what's fun about craft beer nowadays. So many different beers coming out all the time. New styles, new flavors. Breweries are experimenting. So it's an awesome time to be a beer drinker.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This craft beer phase that's going all over.
No doubt.
Yeah, turning this into a hobby. This is great.
Making it look legitimate, right?
Exactly,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
So beer is a tax write-off for you?
It's definitely work, research, development, yeah, you name it. But besides the Casual Pint, keeping with the beer theme, we've pretty much doubled down on beer. We run a Omaha brew bus, which is started out as trying to just gain some exposure for Omaha's breweries.
No, there's a little story behind the brew bus. You came here and you're like, hey, I want to go on this?
It pretty much, it was kind of Kyle's brainchild, not the idea in general, but he had been to Chicago and went on a brew tour. And I moved back from Tennessee.
As in Chicago, there's probably 20, 30 beer tours out there or something?
There must be. Yeah, there's quite a few, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of good
Have to
places
get
to
up
hit
on
in
the mic a
Chicago.
little more there.
So you just thought, oh, we'll go take that instead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
David just moved back, like he said, and I told him we haven't been around to the Omaha breweries. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And we started researching it and found, there was nothing like it here in Omaha. So that's where it kind of
No competition.
Perfect.
And I mean, obviously part of going to breweries, you want to drink some beer and have some fun.
Yeah.
You have to be responsible as well. So we tried driving to a few breweries and hanging out, but you can only have a couple beers and then you got to go home.
Right.
And with all the options nowadays in Omaha, we thought, why isn't someone doing this? So we just took that idea, ran with it, started it, and we're doing great. We're running tours all the time and having fun with it because it's about exposing the breweries. I mean, I kind of call it a hobby business, but it's more about just exposing people to beer and what's going on in Omaha.
Right.
Absolutely.
How far are you booked out? Like if someone were to want to book a tour?
Usually a month and a half to 2 months.
Oh, wow.
But that being said, we only really are focusing on Saturdays. So,
Gotcha.
if somebody wants to do something on Fridays, we do a lot of work events. So people who want to take their coworkers out, just a good time away from the office, we'll do that on Friday afternoons. They'll, cut out at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, go drink some beer, and
Sounds like a good idea.
what a team building experience, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
yeah,
So the
beers.
truth comes out. Nice. How many buses do you have?
Just the one bus
Just
right
one.
now. Yeah.
Plans for expansion on
Which-
that just
which-
because you're booked out?
We'll
see how it goes.
but we have had some bigger groups. Our bus can only hold 13 people,
That's still a fair amount.
and we've had people ask for 30 something, which in my opinion is a little too big because
You can't keep track of them all.
Well, showing up at a brewery
yeah.
with 30
You got
people
a
all
big
at
cowbell
once.
like, bang, bang, time to go.
there'd have to be 5 of us herding that group,
Right.
and then when you roll up on a brewery, some of these breweries are really small. They couldn't handle it, so.
That's pretty. I really like the concept though. That's pretty cool, and the fact that nobody's thought of doing that yet, especially with the rise of all the new craft breweries here in town.
Well,
smart.
and like you were saying, it would be neat for a corporate outing or something like that. We wanted to do a corporate outing essentially with our team and then the sales team from down there where I work, and I suggested to go to just go to a brewery, just go somewhere where we all can drink and hang out and whatnot. Well, they came up with doing the Omaha bike where you pedal and
Oh, yeah.
go around downtown. It was actually a lot of fun. It's silly, but when you're on it, it's actually kind of fun. But I mean, I would have rather got on a bus.
It seems like a lot of work.
Gone from they actually have a switch in there, and they can make it electric if people aren't doing their part.
Makes sense.
Well, well, imagine one guy trying to get it from point A to point B. You have to have it electric. You have to.
Yep. True.
Yeah, we had those out in Virginia Beach. Those 4-person, 5-person, 6-person bikes. That were
You're all sitting in a circle.
Yeah.
I'm pedaling backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. What's I guess you guys should start with the what you guys are going to be drinking on tonight.
Yeah. So apparently, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So it's Oktoberfest season. Believe it or not.
I know.
Yeah.
What? Christmas is in July.
Christmas in July.
Seasonal creep is a real thing. And,
Don't put up the Halloween decorations yet.
Well, it's we've had some cooler days coming recently.
Absolutely. Well, today was super cool with all the rain and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's a great beer. People look forward to it every year because it's only released seasonally, obviously. And so we're gonna blind taste test. We've got 4 options.
Mm-hmm.
So a German. We've got a couple local Oktoberfests, and then one just big domestic that people would recognize. But we're not going to know any of that stuff. So Kyle's pouring right now for us.
Perfect.
He's going to set them in front of us. And,
it's always nice when there's a bartender because 9 times out of 10 I become the bartender since the fridge is sitting next to me. So it's nice when who did we have on? Sometimes I forget.
Yeah. He just had focus.
Alziri from Spirit World. He's a craft bartender, and it was so nice because he was just making all the drinks, and I didn't have to work.
Don't go anywhere without him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he's a good guy. If you don't know him, you should get a chance to get to know him. He's out there at Spirit World. You'll know who he is. He's the long ponytail. Very smart.
I go to Spirit World. Alex is over there. I like Alex a lot.
Yeah, Alex has been on here before.
Super beer knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a small world in the craft business. We all see each other, when you're going around places, beer festivals like what was going on yesterday at Great Nebraska, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm so glad the rain held off to today. I mean, it could have been raining yesterday.
Yeah, people would have still been out.
Oh, yeah. We've still been like, this rain's great. It's refreshing.
That's a good venue for it, though.
Yeah, it is. It was, plenty of shade, plenty of space. It seemed a little... it was the 10-year anniversary this year, but it seemed like there were a few less breweries there. Not by a lot.
No. I did see that they had a few open empty tables, like 57, 82. It's like few empty tables. People didn't either A, make it, or B, they just didn't get enough people to sign up. But nonetheless, there was still a lot of great breweries there. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of set up in a way when you first enter 90% of Omaha's beers are right up front, right at the beginning, and then as you get further out, it's breweries from Iowa and Colorado and things of that nature. But what we did was when we first got there, we turned and we walked all the way down to where they have the first tent, which is all the way on the north side of the venue, and then worked our way back. Well, as we work our way back to the middle where all the Nebraska brews are and all that stuff, it was like, here comes the chaos. It was like everybody's drunk. This is the culmination of where everybody's partying at, essentially.
Yeah, they all want to stick close to the local brews. So,
what was your favorite beer you drank yesterday?
There was a few, but one that stood out in my head was from 515. They're out of Iowa, and they had an IPA that was just knock your socks off. Awesome.
Nice.
New Belgium, the Hempora, or am I saying that right?
Hemperor. Yeah.
Hemperor.
Yep.
Interesting. I don't know if I would. I mean, we were kind of talking about this earlier, but one of those I do like 1 or 2 of them, and then it's like, all right, I can't do a whole 6-pack of you.
Yeah, it's advertised correctly. What you're drinking.
Yeah, it's hemp. It's you get a nice whiff of that.
Right.
Yep. I think that's going to be something coming up too. You're going to see a lot more of cannabis infused. And in fact, I heard somebody in Canada was going to brew the first one. Yeah.
Surprised Colorado didn't jump on that.
I heard that they were going to do wine as well.
Okay.
Canada's doing wine. Yeah.
Mm.
Or not from Canada, somewhere here.
It's like that seems a stretch.
Yeah, whatever. But Yeah, no, those two were my faves. I don't know what were your favorites, Brian?
The 515, that IPA,
That was awesome.
Knock your socks off. It was really, really good. I did like the Alaskan Brewing Company just because I hadn't had. I know where were we? We were in Montana,
Minnesota.
Yeah, and we had one there, but really hadn't had a whole lot from them. So it was nice to see someone that far out at the Nebraska Beer Fest. I tried to focus a lot on the Gozy category, just because I'm breaking into that sour Goz category. So there were a lot of really good, mild, not overly sour beers.
Yeah, it's a good entry level.
Yeah.
Beer to get into with the Gozes, and
Mm-hmm.
they're refreshing. They're a great summertime. They don't have that super sour punch usually, but
Yeah, no, I dug it. It was a good time.
All right, so we've got our first offering here. This looks good.
He'll bring them all over. That way, we can really evaluate, because you have to.
So
So we got to keep these in order, though. So
Yep.
number one, gotcha.
He's in charge of the order, but the color.
Sorry I didn't have any planks of wood, so you could just, bring it over as a flight.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll figure it out.
If I would have known, I do actually have planks of wood out in the garage. We could have a 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
He's a professional.
Yes. But that's something you guys offer there at Casual Pint is flights. I take
Of course.
It? What
yeah.
was a flight run for you?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the beer you're drinking, really. But most of the time it's a couple bucks for a 5-ounce pour or something.
Oh yeah, I didn't know if you guys had a set price and you just like pick whatever beers or.
No, because the beers they
vary.
They vary so much.
Wait a minute, we were there just the other day, and you had a beer, and it was like the Crowler or the Growler to go was like $37.
Oh,
What was
yeah.
that?
Yeah, that could be. I think that was an Almanac beer.
It
Yes,
was
the
yeah.
Almanac Beer.
Yeah, which
Holy
is
cow!
out of California. They barrel age everything. Well, not everything. They just started making some IPAs that Nebraska's getting now, which, by the way, we're doing an Almanac event in a couple weeks on a Wednesday. So Wednesday is always our trivia night. We always try and partner with a brewery, bring in some fun beers. That way we can wrap a couple fun events together. But Almanac is not this coming Wednesday, but the next one. And their stuff it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
even just the sample, the 5-ounce sample was $6.50. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
it's a big sample.
Yeah, right. That's
Or
the
big
price of a
price
normal beer.
Yeah.
You were saying trivia night is. How do I find out about what trivia is going on?
Yeah, so it's usually general knowledge, and always Wednesday, 7 o'clock.
Okay, so there's no like it's going to be Star Wars this time. It's
No,
gonna be,
we've definitely done some of those, and we're going to do some in the future.
sure.
Got any recommendations?
I don't know.
You got a cult following show?
No, I've got a guy that used to do trivia night for the Slowdown,
Okay.
but I mean he's now in Dallas. But I mean I could get tips from him on what to do. But I didn't know if there was specific. You said just general knowledge, so that's
General
kind of
knowledge,
that's
Pop,
cool.
pop culture is always a good one to
Yeah.
do. Movies. You could have a themed movie or
Beer.
Yeah. There you go. Trivia about beer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems appropriate.
But, we don't want to totally focus on something that would take away, other people that want to come in, because our age groups that come into the pint is very varied. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we got the young professionals, and then we've got the 40 and 50-year-olds that have they want a better beer,
Yeah.
and so they come to us.
Good for them. They know where to go.
Absolutely.
Nice. I do want to, after we get into this, I do want to backtrack a little bit, because I mean we've talked about the Casual Pint, but we really haven't talked about what it is. So let's get into the samples here, and then we'll
cool.
talk about the type of business that it is.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, I don't know what we're drinking. Kyle's
These
poured
are
these.
all Oktoberfest though.
All Oktoberfest, yep. So these are available at the Pint. And, there's so many Oktoberfest beers out there. Every brewery puts out an Oktoberfest.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean that they're all good.
Right.
And that's one of the things about craft beer nowadays. People come in and ask, what's my favorite beer? And that's a hard question, because what I think is good and what you think is good might be different now.
Also depends on the season. I mean, some of the seasonal beers are fantastic.
stuff. Sure, yeah. Yeah, some people don't like hops. I mean, I personally don't know any of those people, but some people don't.
Yeah. I do know some people that are just they don't understand how I can get into the IPA category. They're like, it's too hoppy, and I'm like, exactly. That's
That's
amazing.
what it's all about.
No doubt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me, if it's hoppy and it's juicy, I like it. That's my style.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the hot style. I mean, if you're brewing IPAs, you know,
Hot and juicy.
yeah, hot and juicy.
But I'll
That could
tell
be a
you-
beer name right
There
there.
we go. Done. Yeah.
That is actually a pretty good beer name. But I also like, after mowing the lawn, I want to sit and have a radler. I want to have something juicy and light. Like a 3%, 5%, something like that.
That's the beauty
Nothing
of beer
heavy.
nowadays. Yep. Lots of different styles, and they're all getting better, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a brewery now, you have to brew good beer because there's so many good options out there. People aren't going to put up with subpar beers anymore.
Right.
Just too much good stuff. So let's
Yeah.
jump in and just keep in mind when you're going through these. Look at them. Color's super important.
Yeah,
Give 'em a
I just
big-
noticed that the last one is super light compared to the first one.
Give
So
them
it
a
goes
big,
light to
give 'em a
dark.
big whiff.
I
and
was
a
gonna say we're starting with one and
swirl it
go
around.
Yeah.
They almost like
Get to
we're
know this.
sampling brandies almost.
These are really cool glasses. I like these.
Yeah, well, they're little. They're our 5-ounce glasses, and
For your
you know,
samples.
it's important that if you're going to drink a beer, like we do at the Pint, I mean, we take great care to make sure that when we're pouring beer, it's the way the brewery intended it, right? Clean glassware,
Oh yeah.
a glass that can appreciate it. A glass like this where you can get more of the aroma because of the way the shape of
formed.
the glass is. Yeah,
Sure.
it's important to drinking it. If you're going to do it right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, cheers to the first one.
Cheers,
Yeah.
fellas.
Yeah, it's hard to cheers at this table, so we'll just do the open cheers.
Open clinky.
But just take notes, mental notes. Take a sip, and then I would go down. Give it a second, go to the next one,
Yeah.
take a sip, and just start go through them all, and then you
Absolutely.
can go back to ones you say, I want to try that one again, or
Right.
because we're going to try and rank these, to just whatever you think's the best.
Okay.
We're going to do a great unveiling, and then we're going to judge you guys
Nice.
and see how your palates are.
Terrible. We'll see.
Now, question is: all these Oktoberfest local here in Omaha?
Nope.
Or are they? Yeah, they're all over the. Okay.
All over the board. Like I said, we have one German one in here.
Have you been to the German American Society for Oktoberfest?
No, I never have, but I
Should
want
check it
to.
out, yeah.
I heard they put on an awesome Oktoberfest.
They do, and it's like they got legit food, and they've got the traditional German beers. They've got the big giant mugs that you can buy there, or you can bring your mug. But yeah, parking is always an issue. So if you're gonna go, either go way early or park somewhere and then take the shuttle in, because it gets crazy there. They just
Sure.
added onto their parking lot, but it's still pretty bad.
I went to the Crescent Moons last year. They always put on a good show.
Nice. German American Society. The last time I was there, I went there for a homebrew fest, which is now illegal to do in the state of Nebraska.
Mm.
Yeah, they shut those down.
Yeah.
Dang it,
Dang.
because they were the
That was
first
a lot
year.
of fun.
Yeah, the first year they just had the main. So the German American Society is kind of split. They got the main floor, and then there's like a larger side party room. And the first year they just had booths like in a square, and you would just walk around those guys. And they weren't really booths; they were tables, card
yeah.
tables basically. And then the second year they doubled the amount of vendors there for beer for homebrew, and then they also doubled the amount of people that came. So they started. I think first year was 200, and the second year was like 400 people came. So it was getting really really big. But yeah, shut down.
I was taking the program, and I was writing like, no, not gonna have that anymore, or like, this would be good with steak, But one of my favorites was this guy. He had two beers. It was like a 5% beer, and then he had like a 14% beer. And so I was like, well, I gotta try the 14, of course, And so right next to it, I wrote 1-2 floor. You'd be hitting the floor by the third one for sure.
Got to be careful. Yep. Beers, they can sneak up on you, and especially the better ones, they can, you don't taste the alcohol in them.
Right. I think I picked it out. The German one. It was the third one. Is the German one. I could be wrong,
Oh,
but
we'll see.
We'll find out.
just by simple flavor and taste, you can kind of taste the German in it. I was just
Well,
like,
technically, they all should be.
well, technically they all should be, but I mean,
Tasting's
if it came
the
from
same.
Germany, that's the flavor I would expect from Germany, right there.
Okay. Well, this is going to be great. I can't wait.
Right?
Camera Britt.
Yeah, that happens. Sometimes I
need a little red light over there for you.
Easy button.
Yeah,
easy
exactly.
button,
Yeah.
Hey, I was talking. I was on the camera.
I'm so far, I like the first one's like the most malty of them. I like the maltiness that comes out of that one. That's gonna be that's my vote as far as the German and my favorite. So we'll see.
Interesting. Yeah, the best way, like I always say, blind tasting is how you really should do it. You get no preconceived notions of packaging or the brewery itself. Someone may have had a bad experience with a brewery, and then if I showed up with a 6-pack of that and we were going to drink it, you'd probably think, nah, it's not going to be any good.
Yeah.
And you just have to drink them unbiased, and this is the only way to do that. So
No, yeah, these are all very good samples. For some reason, the first one stands out more than the other three to me. Flavor-wise, these other three seem very similar. So,
yeah, I got a clear favorite going.
Right.
that's gonna be my vote's number one.
Number one.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm kind of deciding between number 1 and number 3 here, because like I said, this one tastes the most German-esque. But I went back and I had the one after I had all 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to taste it.
So while you guys are sampling, I'm going to throw in a plug for the pint.
Oh yeah,
go for it.
Because with it being Oktoberfest season, we're going to have we're calling ours a fall festival. We've got some great Oktoberfest beers that we're going to be featuring at Countryside Village. If you're familiar with the village, there's a south and a north building, and so we're going to pretty much cut off
that
the
middle section.
middle section.
Nice.
And
Like
have
block
a
off
huge,
the street.
Yeah, have a huge
Awesome.
space. We're going to have.
Where do I park?
No, I get it. That's cool.
Yep.
It's a little block party, essentially.
We're going to have a block party. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Great beers. We're going to have some bounce houses for the kids during the day. Make it more family friendly, because that's what this neighborhood is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of families. We're in
Absolutely.
District 66. This is West Side. A lot of people want to be here that have young families, so we're going to do that for them. We're going to have German music. We're going to have, the top of the hour prost, where we're going to toast and drink some beer, and have some fun. We got a DJ coming in later, and we'll probably kick it up a notch or two and do some partying then. But
Nice.
it's going to be a good time. Something for everybody.
Right.
Nice. That sounds a lot of fun. So I guess
September 29th.
Yep.
And there is a Husker game that day, just for all the Husker
Oh,
fans. I
dear.
know there's 1 or 2 out there probably.
Oh man, that's gonna
But
be a big conflict.
We're gonna have some TVs going. We got a huge tent, a rain or shine of type of event. We're prepared for everything. But yeah, we're gonna have the Husker game on, so no worries. Beer will be pouring. Huskers will be on TV.
Nice,
Right.
nice. And I guess we should talk where is Countryside Village for those that are not aware of where it's located.
Yeah, good question.
87th and
87th and Pacific.
Yep.
And if you're looking at a map of Omaha, you could pretty much drop a pin right in the middle of it, and that's about where we are. I mean, it's central to nearly everything.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right across the street from West Side High School. You'd mentioned the
Yep.
West Side District there, so you're on that second building. You're on the north building.
North building off of Pacific Street, yeah. But which gives it a little more intimate feel for our space. We got a big garage door that we swing open. We actually had it open today for a little bit because
Nice.
the weather was nice
That was
enough.
gorgeous. Yeah.
I like the description.
Well, not
that you
gorgeous.
have.
It was raining, but still, it was a good day.
We hadn't really talked about what type of business. I mean, it's a tap room, but you're also like a pub because you have food available there. I like the description that you put on your website, like a coffee shop.
Sure.
And to me, it that's totally the vibe that you get. It's like walking into your neighborhood coffee shop, only it's for beer, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
I like that.
We want it to be a place that you want to hang out with your friends and they're able to talk. We're not trying to be a sports bar. We're not trying to be a club.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place that you want to meet your buddies after work and have a couple beers, talk, and be able to hear each other.
Right.
Not have to yell, and the coffee shop vibe.
Yep.
Yeah, the only
Got
difference
small
is we're
tables.
slinging beer.
Yeah, you got some. You call them beer tenders instead
tenders,
of
yeah.
bartenders. You got the beer tenders. It's
Yep.
awesome. Small tables. You can belly up to the bar. Games. Do you have games there?
Yeah.
I saw you had some
Trivia?
board games.
Yeah,
kinda
we
cool.
got some Battleship. We
Yeah,
got
nice.
Phase
You suck
10.
my battleship.
Yeah, nice.
You know.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. You got.
No, that's a great one. That would be a lot of fun. Connect Four.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good one.
You know, just it's just all about coming in and having a good time, and without overdoing it. You know what I mean? It's real simple. It's casual.
Yeah,
You know,
and Casual Pint. Hey,
named
yeah,
appropriately.
yeah, I like the. You said you had 30 taps, but you also have a bottle service because you can walk in there and you can actually get single cans, 6-packs, and you can actually, from my understanding, is you can grab a bottle from the cooler and take it up to the bar, and you guys will open it and you can have it there.
Totally. Yep.
Nice.
We have on and off premise license, so you know, which is one of the beauty parts about the Casual Pint. Try it there. You're not committing to a 6-pack.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's worse than you want to try something, right? So you buy a 6-pack, you take it home, and you find out you don't like it. Well, now you got 5 more to drink.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets pushed to the back of your fridge, and then you bust it out when your friends come over and try and pawn it off on them. But
That's why I do the make your own 6-packs.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, I want to try this, I want to try this, I want to try this, and you can just have
Pick
one
6,
or two.
yeah.
Yeah.
yep, take it home and try it. Try it at the pint, whatever. But lots of can options too. You know, a lot of breweries are kind of switching over to cans.
They are. It's A, recyclable, B, cheaper, and C, doesn't let any light in, which is great for beer.
Huge for beer. Yeah, and you know, through the brew bus, we've gotten to know a lot of the breweries real well. And Nebraska Brewing Company, I think, is the one who always talks about, you know, when you look at a bottle, you've got the label, but the label doesn't take up the whole bottles, you know, all the surface available. But when you look at a can, you have 360 degrees of
Oh, yeah.
marketing space and to
Like
build your brand.
Clown Shoes beer.
Clown Shoes beer.
The artwork on that can, it's just it's
Amazing.
worth buying it
Yeah.
just for the artwork. But the beer is also fantastic. But
Sure.
yeah, I really enjoy the ones that spend some time on the label and all that.
Make
As
it
long as they're
fun.
also spending time on the beer. you want good beer too.
That's important.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of cans, you guys have crowlers
We
and
do.
growlers, both.
Growlers and growlers. Yeah.
so
which,
if you like a beer, you can take 32 ounces or just buy 2 and you got 64.
Yeah.
Take that with you.
It's interesting that you offer both because the growlers that you have are 32 ounce, and so are the cans, right?
Mhm.
So it's interesting that you have both.
Yeah, you know, that's one of those things, another crazy law when we were talking earlier about the home brewers and what Nebraska does. They don't allow us as a beer bar to fill up 64.
Because you don't make
Ounces.
your own beer.
Yeah.
But
and,
you can buy 64 ounces. You just have to buy
Do it
2
in-
cans.
Yeah, so you'd have to buy 2. But if you go to
Ridiculous.
a brewery can fill up a 64-ounce growler.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that'll probably change somewhere down the road because that's kind of an old law that, you know, you
It's
go
a weird law.
Yeah.
Weird law. You go over to Iowa, you could take a milk jug in somewhere probably, and they might fill it for you. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and I've had issues because I have one of those drink tank growlers. If you've ever seen those, they're stainless steel, double wall.
oh, they're awesome.
Oh, love them. Expensive, but I love them. I had trouble with that every once in a while because the brewer's like, well, you have to have our growler. It's like, well, why? That's not a law. That's just your rule. So I like the ones that are just like, yeah, whatever. As long as it's not another brewery's growler, which it's not. It's just a plain label, you know, the drink tank. So,
Sure.
As long as it's got the sticker on it, that's what they look for.
Well, we did get away from glass though, which, you know, in my opinion, is
The
not
stainless steel is awesome.
the stainless is the way to go. I mean, it's more like a can, no light in. It's got a better seal.
It's got the Grolsch
It's
lid
not
on there.
breakable, really. I mean, you know, if you dropped it, it's not going to break.
You got to put some effort into it.
You would, yeah. You'd need a dump truck to run over it, maybe. But the can serves a different purpose.
Because you can't
You know.
reseal it.
Right. That's a one-time usage.
Mhm.
If you're going on a boat, you're going camping, you're going to the pool, you know, can options are always good because then you could just crush it, recycle it, take it out. You know, you don't have to keep track of it. Where the stainless, you don't want to lose that thing. That's
Oh,
too
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Now, when I first became a member of your club,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about here hopefully shortly, my first growler from you guys was one that was kind of like a twist bottle, kind of a corkscrew you screwed in.
Yeah.
But your new ones now are a clamp top.
Like a flip top,
So
like
what
a
was-
Grolsch lid.
Was it a design thing or was it a manufacturer thing? Like why the change? I guess.
We just do the flip tops for our better customers.
Ah,
You didn't know you were a better customer at first, so.
right.
No, that's just one of those things that you know, they realized there was a better option and started
Right.
making it, and so we started buying it.
Sure.
You know, but the flip tops are totally the way to go.
Oh, absolutely. Easier to clean, easier to take care of, manage. and
You're not
all
going to
that
lose it. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Better seal too, I would say.
Better seal.
Nice.
Dig it. But okay, so getting into that, you've got clubs. You've got 2 different clubs you can join.
Yeah. So we're pretty lucky. We have an app that you can use, which tracks
Super useful, super easy.
super easy. It's easy to get started. It takes a couple minutes to fill out, but it tracks your purchases. It gives you rewards. You get a free beer on your birthday.
Nice.
Lots of fun stuff. That's the freebie.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one you were talking about, Britt, is Brewmaster Club.
Yep, which I'm part of and Brian's part of.
Yeah. So $20 a month. The day you sign up, you get the nice stainless growler. You get a T-shirt. You get a fill, and then you bring it back. You get a free fill once a month.
And then you get like other special deals going on. Like, isn't like Monday half price Monday or Friday or something like that?
Yeah, half price is on Friday.
Half price.
So
Friday.
you can bring it in, which that almanac when you were talking about earlier is a steal then that day.
Yeah.
And that's what I always tell people, like when you're going to come in and get your
Do it on Friday.
do it on Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, and buy something nice because we've got the $7, $8, $9, $10 growler fills, but you're only going to save, what would that be, $4 or $5 with that. Get something that's like $20 or $25 and save 10,
Yeah.
12.
And then you also get, I believe, 10% off of your purchase when you purchase from the cooler.
Package
Package,
beer to go, you get 10% off.
So they'll make your own 6-packs and all that.
Not on the make your own 6 because when you take those to go, we give you 40% off.
Oh.
They're priced to be drank there.
Okay.
And then if you take them to go, we try and get them back down to that normal bottle price of, so we give you 40% off. But you get every 10 pints, you get a free pint. So, that's a nice value there. Every 10 growler fills, you get a free growler fill. So that adds up quickly. And then the 10% off of package to go, we got guys who come in and just buy their normal, drinking home stuff and, save $3, $4, $5 on those purchases.
Might as
So
well.
it adds up. It's totally worth it.
Nice. I like that. You also offer kegs too.
What?
Right?
Hold on.
Yeah, you bet.
So do you do the 5-gallon or the 16 full 16?
It depends on what you do. What are you going to commit to?
So you have the option of doing both. We can.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's distributed in Nebraska, and that's one of the weird misconceptions people have is, I was out on vacation in Boston, and there's this brewery out there. I'd like to get some of their beer. Unless they to Nebraska, we can't get that beer. So it has to be distributed in Nebraska, and then it's pretty much as easy as just ordering it up, and we'll get it to you.
Nice.
So when can I get my 5-gallon of King Sue? Can I just do that? Can I place my order?
Place your order. Stand by.
Yeah. Stand by to stand by. Nice. So that's and you also offer food as part of your. We've done all the drinks. Taps, bottles, cans.
Totally.
Brewmaster Club, kegs. You also offer food.
Because we care about you and we want you to stick around a little bit.
Right.
Exactly.
We're not trying to be a restaurant by any means, but we've got some good options. Wings, flatbreads, brats, pretzel and beer cheese is probably our best seller.
What's that? Southwest egg rolls? Isn't that
Southwest rolls?
Oh,
Yeah, that's
man,
my
those were
favorite.
good.
Yeah. I would say it's upscale bar food. It's not like your typical just brew pub. It's more of an upscale because I had the side of hummus and vegetables, and I had the wrap there, the Southwest wrap, I think it was, or the yeah, that was delicious.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's not our main focus. Obviously, we're trying to be a craft beer joint, and that's where we're knowledgeable. That's where what we're pushing and trying to get out there. But yeah, you got to have some good options when you're there.
It's always a good idea to have food when you're drinking.
Have some food. Stick around for another beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I was sitting out on your patio the other day, and I was noticing some of the furniture you had out there. Did you guys build that bench that is out there, or is that something you just bought offline?
Somebody built it for us.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because I noticed that some of the seats you could lift up, and I was like,
What,
being a little
you snooping around in
Tom,
there?
I was like, oh, I liked it. I kind of wanted something out in my backyard, something like that.
Cool.
And I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, we built that in there because our patio, we don't get to use it very often, obviously, but when we do, we're trying to squeeze as many people out there as we can.
Right.
And so that little built-in is really nice, and it's out of cedar wood, so I mean it's beautiful. Yeah. But yeah, one of our regulars built that for us. We got some handy people.
What?
Nice.
Shout out to Steve B if you're listening.
Well, there you go.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yep. Yep. But we we love the neighborhood feel.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you pick the location there, or how did that all come about when you want to do? Because Casual Pint franchise, and you own the franchise here in town.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, correct. It is a franchise, and started in Tennessee. So Knoxville, Tennessee, 2011, first store opened. And then from there, he was going to open a second store, but was approached by so many people to, franchise it out that he said, I'm going to stop and I'm going to start franchising because it's such a cool concept.
Mm-hmm.
There are places that are doing it and similar things, but not many.
Right.
I can't tell you how many compliments we get when people come in and they love being able to pick a beer out of the cooler.
Mm-hmm.
And have the tap stuff. So
that's one of the more unique features, I think, because you don't see that a lot at tap rooms where you have a beer cooler with the bottles and cans, and you can. I like that.
But even though it's a franchise, we have total say over the beers we buy because every state's different.
Right.
Sure. Someone in Tennessee can't tell us what to buy up here because they don't know the brands.
What's distributed here, yeah.
And they don't know what our customers want. So, we're 100% in charge. We're running our own business, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, you said this came out of Tennessee. You were telling me that you lived in Tennessee for a while. So did you get the idea while you were living there, or how did this come about?
I wish this was another Kyle specialty. That would have made us a lot more money. But no, it was a young guy out of Tennessee. His name's Nathan Robinette. He was in the supermarket business, so that's where you get that infusion of sort of the cold case, like a supermarket type of feel with a bar. It's the two blended.
No, I'm saying, what did you get the idea when you were out there in Tennessee to start this Casual Pint in Omaha?
Yep, I had one close to my house. Yeah,
And you're
living
just
in
like,
Tennessee.
Let's do this.
And I remember the first time I walked in there, I thought it was the coolest place I'd ever been.
Nice.
Go in there, and I said, I've never even heard of half of these beers.
Mm-hmm.
And
I get to sample stuff here and at the bar. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yep. And I thought another one of those things where you come back home, and obviously Beertopia and Crescent Moon have been around forever. They've leaders. They've been doing it a long time.
Right.
Before it was the in thing.
I just wish we lived closer to them.
Well, no, you live closer to the Casual Pint.
That's why I'm there all the time.
Yeah, we're filling that gap.
Exactly. Thank you.
Is that why you picked that location? Just because the countryside village itself is kind of this. The tagline's a small town in the city, so it's got that real neighborhood feel.
Coffee shop vibe, which we were talking about earlier. We're trying to be the gathering point. We definitely want to be in a neighborhood, not in those big, strip malls and things where probably gets more walking traffic and stuff like that. But yeah, we're trying to be a neighborhood joint.
It's amazing to me what Countryside Village has become in the last 3 years. I mean, even 5 years ago, it was a completely different feel there. It was still a small town, but the type of businesses that were there is completely changed. I'm sure there's some that have remained, but there's been a big turnover here in the last 3 to 5 years.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's
a whole new
evolving
feel.
for
Yep.
sure.
When we first looked in there, we kind of discounted it, to be honest. Simply because when I was younger, I'm sure Kyle too, but our mom would go shopping over there, and it was, I hate to say like a grandma type of feel, but it was more geared towards women,
The older crowd,
and the older crowd,
yeah.
totally, and
Well, they would drop their kids or grandkids off at Westside and step over there for brunch, or
sure,
go shopping at the card shop, whatever.
Yeah. But that's changing, and
it is.
They traditionally had never had alcohol over there either.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a new development.
That is brand new, and now there's 4 of us over there that are serving alcohol, food. There's a little bar called Cedar, which he focuses on like craft cocktails and wine.
Good food over there.
Inkwell,
which is right there on Pacific. They're incredible
yes,
cocktails.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I've got a friend of mine. He's got a very refined palate, and Manhattan's is one of his favorites. And he said it was the best Manhattan he'd ever had, which coming from him says a lot about they just don't put alcohol in a glass. They craft these cocktails.
Mm-hmm. Yep. On Timber, the Woodfire Bistro, he's got a nice lineup.
Timber, that's the one with the food, not the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, Timber's the full restaurant.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. But he's got a nice lineup of wines and some craft beers. So
Nice.
incredible food. So it's it's changing. It's becoming a little younger. A men's shop just opened out front.
Simple man. That I went to high school with him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Boy,
Awesome.
He's a good guy.
Awesome shop.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of new fun things.
Yeah, I've shopped there a couple times. I was going to him back when he was down in Benson, and yeah, this is a much better spot for him. I like it. It's probably easily double or triple the size of the place he had last.
Cool.
So, good for him.
Yeah, he's got good taste. I've been in there.
Yeah.
It's fun stuff to look at.
Yep. Yeah, and a good guy too. So. All right, hurdles. Let's talk about some. Were there any hurdles getting this thing off?
yeah.
I know you said that you kind of discounted the location.
Yeah. How much time do we have?
As much time as you
Plenty of
need.
time.
Much time as you need.
Ooh, all right, get ready. Now, you're retrofitting a 1950s built building.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's so many hurdles. You don't even know where to start, to be honest, because it's an overwhelming question. But we made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of going back and forth, and it delayed us a long time. We had a little more in lawyer fees and stuff than we anticipated because of that. But, we got it done. And I would say one of the tougher parts was, the M's Pub thing happened.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And Countryside Village does not have sprinklers. The south building does now, the one right on Pacific, but the north building does not. And that was a major problem for the city of Omaha, and especially after the M's Pub thing, they cracked down. They cracked the whip hard, and which hey, we want to keep people safe too. I mean, we're not out to make it a problem place, but yeah, we had to jump through a lot of hoops, and it almost didn't happen.
That's got to be a huge to put in sprinklers that were no longer there in that entire building.
Hundreds of thousands.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even imagine.
So, but that shouldn't fall back. Should more fall back on the people who. Correct.
Well, yeah. I mean, but it's a partnership
Sure.
at the end of the day, and but he did run it to that other building, so yeah, and it will happen, but it's just one of the things. I mean, there's a basement underneath there. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but
So you have a cellar?
Yeah, Boyd took me on a tour there. He did a lot of the build out himself, and he was talking about a lot of the challenges with building in there. And he took me downstairs, and he's creating this little. If you've never been downstairs there, it's pretty cool. He's doing this little thing down there, little men's like a what's the word I'm thinking of? Man cave kind of thing down there.
man cave, cool.
I wasn't sure where he was going there.
Yeah.
He was like men's. I'm like, where's he going with it?
Spa.
Yeah, get your toenails painted.
No, but from what I understand, back when that was built, if you owned that store upstairs, then you lived downstairs.
Oh wow.
So you would literally that was your home, and it doesn't get used much anymore, besides for like some storage or small stuff. I know, but yeah, I mean that's another challenge, because then you're talking firewalls and all these codes you have to live up to, because now you're technically above something, and
Crazy.
lots of problems we ran into, but. Yeah, we made it happen. We pushed through.
Nice.
You didn't originally have a kitchen in that place, so you had to build a kitchen as well.
Build a kitchen. Yep. And we back up to somebody behind us, which I believe is Travel Fair, and then we've got people on both sides, and we had to beef up those firewalls, and we literally, Kyle, you might be able to jump in on this one, but we had to move. We had doors. We have one on each side, east and west.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, would we have to move 7 inches? They made us move it?
It was 6 inches.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were 6 inches too close, and we
Yeah,
had to cut into
be
we had to
compliant.
cut into that brick facade
What?
there, and to
That's
get 6 extra
crazy.
inches.
Move a door 6 inches. Okay.
Wow.
Who cares? 6 inches.
Was it down to? Was it down to zero? Like you had a blank canvas when you walked in there?
Yeah. Yep. It was just 4 walls. It
4
was just
walls and a stairwell downstairs.
Yep.
So, being as though you have 2 doors, it's only 1 bay though, right? You're not 2 bays, are you?
Well, we are 2 bays together.
Okay, so all right, I see where you're at then.
Yep. But it was already that space.
Gotcha.
We just took it over. Yeah. Which we wanted to be out on that Pacific Street side because the visibility,
Oh, absolutely.
of course, and
But
there-
you can see your sign as you're driving down Pacific. I was like, hey, Casual Pint.
Yeah.
That's when I first was like, what's that all about?
it's kind of the bat signal.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
right?
say,
I've been living here for 2 years, and I was just all like, why haven't I known about this place?
Is there anything against like advertising, like rooftop, like?
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Get the bag signal going.
Yeah, literally, get those lights going, and
I like where you're at. Yeah. Think about it.
yeah. Well, and it's nice, like Britt said, when you're coming down the hill, you can see back on that north building there, which is good.
It's got a lot of charm to it. You know, like I said, it's been around since the 50s, and I want to say it's Omaha's first strip mall, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. But
I think so.
I wouldn't doubt it, yeah.
it's got a lot of history there. It's been around forever. Yeah, it's really cool. The administration building is 2 doors down from us. And they've got pictures from the original, you know, back in the 50s, and it's just, you can just see fields in the background, and quite a bit different nowadays.
Nice. I also we take the girls to the park that's right behind there, the jungle gym that's back there. They call it 5-star park because when we were looking up stuff, it had 5 stars on it. And it's a good little park if you got kids.
Sure,
take them out there.
Yep,
right behind there.
That big church back there.
Yeah.
So besides Wednesday night doing the trivia night, do you guys do any other special events? I know you do like tap takeovers and stuff.
Yeah, we do a lot of fun stuff, in my opinion. Tuesday nights all day happy hour. So Tuesdays dollar off drafts all day. Wednesdays the trivia. Thursdays we do something really cool called Dice Night. And
yeah, you know, I did come in one of those nights, and they're like, just roll the dice and you get to pick a beer or something like that with the dice?
Kind of. I mean, the dice is picking the beer for you.
Yeah.
But 30-sided die, and you roll it. Obviously, a number will correspond to a tap number. So if you roll a 14, whatever beer's on tap 14, you can take that beer for $2 off. Or if it's just something that you're just
like,
going to
no, I'm not even going to want that.
Yeah. Then you just say no. You roll again for $1 off. If it's a no, then you get to pick your beer at full price. We'll let you pay full price.
That's fun, yeah. What? And that's Wednesdays?
That's Thursday night.
Thursday nights.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Fridays half price growler fills. And then Saturdays, you know, we really don't do anything special for Saturdays, and
because it's just going to be busy.
Well, you know, it's actually tough competing against Nebraska games.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know, we're not a sports bar, like I was saying.
You
but
don't have any TVs in there, I don't believe.
We do. We have 2 TVs.
Sees how much I pay attention.
But, you know,
there.
they're never on, like, audio-wise.
Sure.
But we do throw games on because, you know...
It attracts a crowd.
Well, in fact, you know, like a Husker game day, there's bars out there that you could go to, obviously sports bars, but they are just packed. And, you know, you might not be able to get a seat. You might not be able to hear your buddies when you're talking. Our place is that chill place where you can come in, you can actually watch the game and talk. And so we do get a lot of that fringe crowd. Yeah, you're just not going to listen to it, maybe. And unless there's a Husker beer tender
working. Bring a pocket radio
Yeah.
and you can put some headphones in.
There you go. That's a good idea.
Yep.
Nice. Is that all on the app? So we have the app. We've talked about that. Is the app on the nights and all that stuff?
Yeah, definitely should be on the app. Facebook is kind of our go-to. We're on Twitter and Instagram as well, but that's the best way to find us.
Nice.
Facebook. We're always updating on that, and that's something I'm more familiar with, so it's easier for me.
Well, it's easier to add events, you know, like come check out this event, and I really do appreciate that actually, because it's all like, we're having a Toppling Goliath take over. I'm like, I'll see you then. You know,
It's a pretty decent brewery.
Oh man,
Yes, it is.
Anything they make is gold in my book.
Should we do an unveiling on the beers?
I was just going to say,
we didn't talk about who's favorites and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Britt, do you even remember what your favorite?
My favorite was number 3. That was my favorite.
I'm torn. I really like 1 and 3. I think those were my 2. But if I had to pick, I'd say 3. And I would say 3 is the German.
That's what I was saying. 3 is the German.
and I went with 1.
Any ideas on the local?
Local, I would say probably the
4.
Number 4. Yeah.
4 was local.
Yep.
All right. We will find out.
Only because it was the lighter of the bunch, you know.
Yep. And you know, that's the thing. They're all a little bit different. They're trying to mimic a certain style, obviously, but you know, you put their artistic spin on it. I mean, you don't want to just copy totally everything that people are doing.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on.
Yeah.
In order. From the left.
So in order for you or in order for
This was number 1.
Okay.
number 1?
4.
I picked the Brickway. I picked the local guys.
Okay, so the local was number 1. The German was actually number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got the German right.
Got the German right. And then what was Oktoberfest from Sierra Nevada?
Oh
Gotcha.
man.
That was what threw me. It was just so much lighter out of the bus out of all of them.
It was lighter.
It was lighter.
Something I didn't know a whole lot about Sierra Nevada, but then I had a friend go through the beer judge certification program, and they use Sierra Nevada for a lot of the beers because of their quality control. I was like, well, that says something about the brewery.
Sure.
So
They're doing something right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one I was so looking forward to trying because I hadn't had this year's. What Sierra does is they partner with a brewery, a German brewery, every year.
Oh, nice.
You know, and they make a sort of a collab beer, right? And it's always different.
We have one more beer. Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry for the interruption, but I knew we had one more beer somewhere.
I mean, it's your show.
Partner with a German.
Yeah, so they
brewery.
always partner with a German brewery. They make a different recipe every year, right? And so this year's 2018's is with Weinstefan, which is the world's oldest brewery in Germany.
Nice.
And so I was so looking forward to this beer, and man, I was expecting something different. But see, there you go. Like if I would have had this at home and knew what I was drinking, I would have, it would have been totally different perspective on what it tasted like to me.
Right.
So it's interesting to do it blind.
I'm just happy that I got it right. Got the German. I was like, this has got to be Oktoberfest right here.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, you passed the test.
Yeah, there you go. Sweet.
I picked the local guy, so that's.
What was the second one here? Can I get a rotation of the bottle here? Hey, you want to line them up so the camera hits them all, and I'll just zoom right into it. Let me just do that. Yeah, put them right kind of in front of that frisbee, and we'll just put them a little closer. Yeah, that way I can zoom into them. And that way the folks at home can see what we were doing. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Nice zoom in photo to that. So, yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for bringing that. That was really cool.
You bet. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
So what's this next one that we're
exactly.
doing?
So,
we never got Kyle's. What was your favorite? Well, you knew what they were.
Yeah, I knew what they were.
Exactly.
But, I really like Brickways.
Brickways, yeah. Well done, Brickway.
Yeah, nice
I'll have
job.
to shout out to Mitchell out there.
So this right here is called the M-34. Am I saying that right?
M-43.
M-43, yeah, 34, 43. I had it backwards. This is out of Michigan. It is a pale ale, 6.8 alcohol volume on this. Buddy of mine, Andrew, big shout out to the guy. He had a friend go to Michigan and bring back a 4-pack of this for him. And out of that, he gave me a bottle. So that's true friendship right there. And he's like, no, you've got to try this. This is from my home state. It's going to be good.
Nice.
It looks juicy.
It looks incredible.
It looks
Hazy,
hoppy.
very hazy.
Looks
Very
hazy.
Mm.
I'm ready for this. Oh, yeah. Smooth, juicy, hoppy, hazy. Just the way I like
Can
it.
get a refill.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Please, thank you.
Refill on kombucha.
Wow, Britt, that's awesome, man.
All right.
So good. I gotta see this.
What's the name of the
New Orthodox?
Mm.
Does that sound right, Britt? For
That sounds right.
brewery?
You've got the can.
And I can read.
Right.
We're halfway there.
How is the can art on there?
Old Nation Brewing Company. Yep.
So my buddy Andrew is in the process of moving right now, and he's like, hey, can I store some beer in my gas tank and a keg at your house and all that stuff? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's no big deal. So he brought me over 6-pack, and this is one of the ones out of the 6-pack. And
That's cool.
muchas gracias, Andrew.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, real good dude.
Good
Yeah.
people.
I mean, you can tell on IPAs nowadays. When you're looking at something and you can't see through it like that,
They've done something right.
they're doing it right.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I like it. It's juicy, smooth. I was surprised at how smooth it is. I like it. Very good. Very good.
Kyle, you're the IPA expert.
I approve.
Concur?
I concur, doctor. I concur.
Time for a road trip to Michigan.
Yeah, no, he wanted me to come over and share it with him and all that stuff, and he had already had 3 out of the pack, and like I said, he was moving, so he's just like, you know what, just take it and drink it. And I was like, I know where I need to drink this at is on. So wow, this is awesome. I wish we could get some of this in Omaha, because this would be right up there with Toppling Goliath's King Sue.
King Sue, yeah.
They're King Sue. This would be right a good match with it.
Totally. Yep. See, there you go. You're one of those guys.
I'm one of those guys.
Hey, give me some of this beer. If only it was that easy.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yep. Anytime I have friends that go up to Wisconsin, it's like, guys, bring back some of the beer.
Well, speaking of King Sue, my brother and I were trying to get our hands on some so we could get some on the show, and I was able to snag 2 of them. I was like, okay, cool. I got 2 cans, and it was like, it was this Omaha craze, and it was just Hy-Vees were doing these. I'll sell you 2. I'll sell you 2. Well, I caught wind that
Shadow Lake.
after I realized what was going on, each Hy-Vee was kind of opening it at different times. Like, I'm going to do 11 o'clock, I'm going to do 12 o'clock. Well, Shadow Lake was going to do a 1 o'clock. When we get to Shadow Lake, they're only selling 1 can. So I had to have my brother come with me so we could get at least 2 more, so we could have 4 for the show. That was ridiculous. I'm just like, so we ended up after getting our cans, and we got our first a fame moment. We were walking in, and they're like, "Oh, Brian and Britt." And we're like, "Hey,
Random.
how's it going?" And he's like, "You don't know me, but I listen to your show." I'm like, "All right, nice."
Right on.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a little fame.
We figured it was because we were together. Excuse me, we were together, because if it would have been just individual, I don't know.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have done it. But,
Yeah.
So we got those beers, and then we just had some lunch at Nebraska Brewing Company because it's right there at Shadow Lake, and we were heading back, and I was like, "Oh, I should probably, I'm calling. I'm like, hey, do you guys have any of those King Sue's left?" And they're like, "Yeah, we got some." I was like, "Well, we were in earlier, but we're gonna come grab another one." And he's like, "No, you can't." I'm like, "It's been an hour and a half, whatever." Like, come on. If I wouldn't have called, they probably would have sold us another one. They would have thought nothing of it.
Weren't you guys in here before?
I mean, they would know Brian and Britt.
Yeah, maybe not the owner or the liquor rep, the manager guy.
Now, sometimes you got to do that, honestly, because these breweries they just don't give you a whole lot of something that's.
I get what they're trying to
demand,
do. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get everyone a fighting chance to have what they can have.
Right.
But there was no fighting chance. It was just
I
free
mean,
for all.
we were getting phone calls a week after that beer landed. We were in the same boat. I mean, we sold all of ours within an hour or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine a week later, people are still calling around. I heard you got some of this. Do you have any left?
I had that on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Had it
It's
for
Friday.
an hour.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
So speaking of some of the kegs or some of the beers, do you get different size kegs? Like I know sometimes they'll release them in like 5 gallons, sometimes the full 16. Do you have multiples, or how does that all work?
Yeah, obviously every brewery is different in the way they want to package and get the beer out the door, but usually specialty stuff is going to be in a sixtel.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something that's core that they make a lot of and often, half barrels, because that's the best way to get it out. It goes fast. So you want to get people the most that you can get them, and then that's a more economical as well. It's a cheaper way to do it. It's like buying in bulk.
Oh yeah.
So it's the best.
Nice. So the kegs that you're sending out, you guys aren't filling these and doing that yourself. This is what you're getting from the
Straight from the brewery.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. I always say we have the easy job. I mean, we just pour beer,
Mm-hmm.
and if people don't like it, well, they're not going to buy it again. But a brewery, they have the difficult job. They have to, make consistent recipes and things that people want to drink.
Quality control.
Quality, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, people aren't going to drink it anymore, and that means you're probably not going to be in business after a while. So, they have all the pressure. We've got the easy part.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of your guys' job, the rise of these tap rooms, we're starting to see that a lot more. Before the talk, I was mentioning one that I go to quite often, but really, I think the niche that you fill, because you have the bottle and can service, is a unique thing. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen that in a tap room before, which is really, really cool. And just the feel of it too, the casual coffee shop feel is so awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. And something we're going to start doing in the future is keep a little of the beer back and call it kind of like a cellar series and do something again more special for the brewmasters.
Hey.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So speaking of for the brewmasters, every once in a while I see up on the chalkboard BMC. And when I see BMC next to the crowlers, which that means an average person walking in there wouldn't be able to take that with them unless they were part of the club.
Right.
I go, something special about that beer. I better take that with me.
Does your chest puff out a little bit?
Look what I got.
Look what I can do. I'm gonna take fill my crowler, and I'll take 2 growlers to go.
Yeah, that's something we do, you know, especially for brewmasters. Now, anybody could come in and have a pour of it.
Sure.
You know, 5 ounce, 10 ounce pint.
Actually, anybody can just sign up for the club.
But to take it home, you have to be a brewmaster.
Yeah.
Just simply because the beer is too popular, and if we let anybody take it home, I mean, a lot of these things, King Sue's the perfect example. If you didn't put limits on that, and somebody came in and just bought up the whole lot, guys who know what they're doing, that's trade bait. I mean, they can go on there and trade that for other stuff, and the value's
like
triple or quadruple.
Ticketmaster
I mean,
or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Where they go up and buy all the tickets.
so yeah, essentially somebody could come in and crowler off the whole keg
Yeah.
if we didn't reserve it of something really special like that.
Right.
Not that that's ever happened or anyone's ever asked for it, but
Are you limited on, because I know, like we talked about before, you can't fill 64 ounce because you don't make your own beer, but are you limited as to the number of growlers or crowlers that you can?
nope.
No, I was just gonna
No.
say, you got a credit card?
You know,
We'll take it.
yeah, the
Do
state,
you need a shopping cart just to wheel this out?
we do curbside service for that.
There you go.
Nice.
Perfect.
We will carry it out to you. You buy that
We
much,
promise you.
we will carry it out. We will find some guys.
The state doesn't believe you're responsible enough to have 64 ounces in one
Container.
vessel,
Yeah,
but yeah, have as many 32 ounces as you
exactly.
All
The
right.
more portable, you know, those are better.
like. Yeah, no big deal.
Yep. Oh, some of these laws, I tell you, here in Nebraska, I think
They're old. They're antiquated. They will change.
yeah, yep.
They will change eventually.
Which will hopefully help distribution here. That'd be good. So
We're a pretty good state though for other laws, I would say.
not bad.
You know, Tennessee, specifically, when I lived there, you couldn't have anything over 8.2 on tap.
Really?
And so,
Even if you did a low, because I know that places that get close to that 10% mark on beer, then you're getting more of a 10 ounce pour or an 8 ounce pour, depending on the level of alcohol content.
sure,
So
and
you could
we do
even
that,
do that.
but no,
Wow.
you couldn't have anything over 8.2. So imagine, you know, pretty much most of the double IPAs,
Yeah.
big
on that on
imperial
tap.
stouts, anything barrel aged, forget it. You know, they can't get it.
Just
the-
bottle only.
The law changed, yeah, and you'd have to go to a liquor store.
Wow.
So you couldn't even go to a Hy-Vee or, you know, similar to whatever was down there.
Oh wow. So like you couldn't go to a grocery. Wow.
Only liquor stores could sell
Anything
high
over-
ABV beer.
Wow.
And, you know, that changed for Tennessee, but not much. I think they're up to now 10 point something. So they can get more.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we've had 18% beers on. I mean, you know, speaking of Brickway, Epic Blackout Stout,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's 17 or 18%, but
It's up there.
it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
so high. I mean, it's a good beer, but, you know, Tennessee has no chance of having that. So we really do have some flexible laws from that standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, every state's different, so you just don't know what you're going to get.
I liked when Nebraska Brewing Company started doing the full can tops removed. I'd seen that out on the East Coast before. Thought it was really cool, but we didn't have that here. And
Yep, can't do it here, but
now they do.
Oh, now they do.
Yeah, now they
Yeah.
do. That's pretty cool.
I was in Tennessee. I was just trying to think of the name of it, so I had to look it up real quick. South of Dollywood, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I did a program out there for rigging and all that stuff. It was nice. They put us up in a hotel, but it was a 1 mile walk to the facility where we did the rigging school and all that stuff. But when it was let out, you could go down and you could go to the moonshine place, you know, and they scan your ID, so you can only do the tour one time, and you get like 20 shots, which is equal to like, you know, maybe 2 glasses of, you know, or maybe 3 glasses of moonshine, but they don't allow you to do it again. But then you just walk down the street and you go to the next moonshine distillery and you do the same thing and you do it twice. You make it back to the hotel and you go, all right, where are we going next, guys?
you do
Feeling
make
really
it back
good.
to the hotel? Are you sure?
Well, it's not true moonshine. It's, you know, the cheap stuff. It's 40%. It's you
Anything
know,
over a glass of true moonshine, you're going blind. Man.
right? Exactly.
No, when I lived in Tennessee, I lived there almost 10 years.
so,
And
so you know all about Gatlinburg and the fires they had there,
been there, yeah, done
Yeah.
that. And yeah, Knoxville's not too far from Gatlinburg.
right?
But they ID you no matter what age you are. I remember my dad going to buy beer one time without his wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say he was like late 50s, and they wouldn't sell him anything.
Wow.
You know, no ID, no sale. which I kind of can get behind that. It makes it so much more easy. On
Levels the
everybody.
playing field. Yeah.
Just know you have to have your ID.
Yeah. And it doesn't get the 8 or 19 or 20-year-old behind the counter. The responsibility doesn't fall on them to say, no, you don't quite look 21. Just
Sure.
card everybody.
Yep. Card them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No fines, please.
Yeah.
You haven't had any trouble there at your property.
We haven't.
That's
No,
good.
there was just a sting recently,
Mhm.
but no, we didn't get wrapped up in that. They came in and our staff did what they were trained to do.
They caught me in a sting. This was quite a few years back when Cigarros was around, and this girl came in and she's like, "Oh, I'm just looking for a cigar for my dad for his birthday." I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely," and I was like, "What's he like? Is it an Ashton man, or what does he want?" And she's like, "Well, I really don't know cigars. I really don't know what I'm doing." She played the whole 2 bits. I mean, she was really smart at what she did, and she's buying it for her dad. It's no big deal, and at that age, cigars you can buy them when you're 18. So I didn't think to card her like it's a cigar. Yep. I gave it to her, and not more than 3 seconds later, he walks through the door and he goes, "Nope, sorry, you just sold to a minor." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?"
Man.
Yeah.
See, that's
$50 fine. I mean, it wasn't nothing, but
Okay.
still, it was just it was like, come on. And now the business takes a hit. Sorry.
Sure.
That business took a bigger hit than me.
Well,
they're out of business now.
I understand why they do it, but to me, there seems to be a legal issue with cops using underage people, which is illegal, in the sting operations. I get that that's part of the sting, but I just wrapping your head around the legality of using illegal methods to do that seems a little weird.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I'm behind that too.
Yeah. So I don't know a way around that. I mean, because
No.
if they're 21, then they can't use you as a sting operation.
Right.
But
Yeah.
You sold to a legitimate person, but they were portraying themselves to be younger.
Yeah.
Like, what? No, this doesn't make any sense.
Not to give too much away to those what happened in the whole situation with us, but the person who came in, he came in and said, "I'll take a Bud Light," and that was pretty
that was
much
tip number one.
Yeah.
We don't sell that here.
That was a dead giveaway. You're at the wrong spot, man.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you crazy kook.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a pretty
yeah,
easy catch.
for all
He was
of our-
already flagged when he walked in and asked for a
all
Bud
of our
Light.
viewing audience, they don't have Coors Light, they don't have Bud Light, they don't have none of that.
Is it even in the cooler at all?
No,
Nothing.
no.
Nope. And we used to say we don't do liquor or wine. Period.
Mhm.
We started doing a little bit of wine, and that's just to. We had a lot of guys who were coming in who were saying, "Hey, I want to bring my wife with me. I want to bring other people,
But you don't drink beer.
yeah, they don't drink beer." And so it's one of those where you got to weigh it, right?
Mhm.
It's an opportunity to find someone something they're going to enjoy, because we have ciders.
Right.
We have a lot of things that don't even taste like beer.
Which your
Right.
bartender, I was in there,
Beer tender.
beer tender. I was in there, I think it was Friday, picking up some stuff just to go real quick. And one of your bartenders, 2 ladies were sitting in the bar, and they, like, "Oh, we're wine drinkers." And he's like, it's in a box. So, I mean, if you kind of like that, So he tried to offer her, just little taster samples of, some of the ciders you have and some of the lighter flavored beers, just to maybe intrigue them to, buy something different. So I thought that was awesome that he wasn't just give in, okay, here's your one. You
Sure.
know.
Yep, and that's a constant sort of struggle, right? Because we get people in daily. I drink Bud Light. I drink Mick Ultra.
What do you got that tastes like that?
Yeah, and so we always keep, we call it beer flavored beer. It's just beer,
Yeah.
but it's always craft.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't gone down that road of having cans in back or something, because there's just better options out there.
Oh, absolutely.
I quit eating frozen meals about 15 years ago. There's better stuff to eat. There's
Right.
better stuff to drink.
There is.
Don't use the
So-
microwave.
Let's do it.
I agree. No, I agree with that philosophy. I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Any future plans? I know you kind of briefly touched on it a little bit, but is there expansion possibilities? Are you going to stay at that location for a while? You're happy
Oh,
there?
we're staying at the location for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
In a perfect world, yeah, maybe we'd have another one or two.
Bays or locations?
No, different locations.
Gotcha.
Try and branch out a little bit because we have people who come from Bellevue who come up to us, or way out west.
That's a journey.
Who, normally wouldn't come this far into town. But so, I know that there's opportunities out there, and there's some areas that are maybe lacking, kind of what we were looking for when we landed on Countryside Village.
Nice.
So, yeah, possibly.
Yeah, there's not. I did live out west too, and there's not a lot out there. I mean, you got Laszlo's way out west.
Yep.
And then the Growler USA, but it's really not a whole lot out west. All the stuff is east here, so got it easy here, Britt.
All right, whatever.
Nearly walking distance.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. I mean, we my son next year, not this year, but next year, will be going to Loveland, and we walk up to Loveland a lot. And they actually just had a outdoor day about a week and a half ago or so. But yeah, I mean, pretty darn walking distance. I know that you've got a couple of locals that are in walking distance, and I have met those people.
Oh yeah.
And they're good folk,
Yep, that's what it's all about. We've got dog-friendly patio. Lots of people just walking the dogs, and they'll stop in for a beer, or especially West Side. Dropping the kids off for practice or whatever, where the parents can't be in there for an hour or so, and they'll come over and have a beer.
There you go.
Yeah, I wish there was someplace close to where I live to do that.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I think. Yeah. Is there any now? We touched on a lot of stuff, but is there one specific thing you want people to know about Casual Pint?
I think we nearly hit every base there.
I thought we did a good job hitting all those. So
Yeah, no, it's we're just, like we said, trying to be a neighborhood place. We're always rotating the beers. It's fun stuff. Knowledgeable beer tenders. Come on in. Say hey, try some beer.
Yeah, come check
absolutely.
out. Get a pint.
We both recommend it. Britt and I are on the Brewmasters Club, so we recommend that place.
Strongly recommend it.
Yeah,
come in and see
if you like
Britt
beer.
And Brian.
Yeah. Hey,
if you like beer, go check this place out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys again for joining us. This is it's been awesome getting to know you guys and talking about it. And
thank you guys.
Getting your
loved being here.
Hopefully, we can get the name out a little more out to the other parts of the community that aren't in the center of Omaha.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Well, my name's Brian.
I'm Britt.
David.
Kyle.
Yes, thank you, Kyle, the bartender, for pouring the drinks.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Everybody needs Kyle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for joining us. We've been talking on Casual Pint, and go there.